Welcome everybody. We are here today to give you a sneak peek of the 2023 Austrian Grand Prix. This race is always one of the most exciting on the calendar, and it's sure to be another thriller this year. The Austrian Grand Prix has been held at two different locations in southeastern Austria, being originally held in Zeltweg, about 70 kilometers west of Graz. Since 1969, the Austrian Grand Prix has taken place in neighboring Spielberg, with the two venues being within approximately 4 kilometers of each other. It was first held at the Zeltweg Air Base for 6 years, before a permanent track originally called the Österreichring, and later known as the A1 Ring, and now the Red Bull Ring, was built. It quickly became one of the most popular races on the Formula One calendar. However, during the alter years, the A1 Ring was also criticized for being too boring, and the race was dropped from the Formula One calendar after 2003. In July 2013, it was reported that the circuit's new owners Red Bull had reached an agreement with Bernie Ecclestone to revive the Austrian Grand Prix after a 10-year absence from the calendar. The Austrian Grand Prix returned to the Formula One calendar in 2014, and it has been held at the Red Bull Ring ever since, and it is one of the most popular races on the Formula One calendar. The race is usually held in July, and it is a highlight of the summer season. Here are some interesting facts about the Austrian Grand Prix. The Austrian Grand Prix is the most successful race for Ferrari, with 7 wins. The most successful driver at the Austrian Grand Prix is Max Verstappen, with 3 wins. Here are some tips on how to get to the Austrian Grand Prix. The closest airport to the Red Bull Ring is Salzburg Airport, which is about 30 kilometers away. There are also train stations in Salzburg and Graz, which are both about an hour away from the circuit. There is a shuttle bus service that runs from Salzburg Airport to the Red Bull Ring. There is also a car park at the Red Bull Ring, but it fills up quickly, so it is advisable to book your parking in advance. Weather conditions for this year's race weekend. Here is the weather forecast for July 1st and July 2nd, 2023 at the Red Bull Ring in Austria. July 1st, the sprint day will be mostly sunny, with a high of 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Race day on July 2nd will also mostly sunny, with a high of 82 degrees Fahrenheit. There is a slight chance of rain on July 1st, but the rest of the weekend should be dry. The wind will be light, with gusts up to 15 kilometers per hour. Qualifying and sprint shootout format for Austrian GP 2023. The 2023 Austrian Grand Prix will once more be a sprint weekend after hosting the F1 sprint format for the first time last year. In 2023, there will be 6 F1 sprint weekends, and this one is the second. The Red Bull Ring will once again feature the updated format for this year, which debuted in Baku. The grid for Sunday's Grand Prix will be set after 1 hour of practice on Friday, followed by the usual hour of qualifying on Friday night. The sprint shootout, a 45-minute qualifying race that determines the starting lineup for the sprint later that day, will be held on Saturday morning. On Saturday at 16:30, a 30-minute sprint event is scheduled. Overtaking is common during Grand Prix at the Red Bull Ring, so there should be a lot of activity on Saturday. Racing in the mountains. According to a new agreement agreed with Formula One earlier this year, the Red Bull Ring will continue to host the Austrian Grand Prix until 2027, serving as the only Formula One venue in Austria since 1970. The Spielberg track always has a nostalgic edge. The region around the racetrack, which is surrounded by mountains, is particularly beautiful at this time of year. Although there are many more relaxing options available, mountain trekking is highly advised if you have some free time. One of the best trackside experiences of the year can be had at the Red Bull Ring. The Austrian Grand Prix support race schedule is substantial, and the event is professionally arranged. Over the course of the Austrian Grand Prix weekend, racing in the Formula 2 and Formula 3 feeder series as well as Porsche Super Cup will take place. The well-liked Red Bull Legends Parade will return in 2023. The well-known F1 athletes participating in this year's procession have not yet been revealed. Last year, racers from 5 different decades, including Zak Brown, Ricardo Patrese, Martin Brundle, Ralf Schumacher, and David Coulthard, paraded the circuit. Since the start of the pandemic, the Austrian Grand Prix of 2021 was the first race to be run in front of a full crowd. Over 132,000 people came to the racing weekend. That number increased to 303,000 in 2022. The circuit had a lot of new grandstands for the 2022 race. In 2023, a comparable level of attendance is anticipated. One of the less expensive events on the current schedule is the Austrian Grand Prix. In terms of average 3-day ticket prices for the 23 races scheduled for the 2023 season, it comes in 5th place. When compared to tickets in the same area at other events, general admission tickets rank as the 4th cheapest of the year, while the grandstand adjacent to the pits is a cost-effective choice. With grandstand seats, lodging, and spending money, we predict that the typical fan will spend $800 to $900 traveling to the Austrian Grand Prix in 2023. The probable podium prediction for the Austrian Grand Prix is Max Verstappen to win, Charles Leclerc second, and Fernando Alonso to round up the top 3. Thanks for watching and enjoy the Austrian Grand Prix.